Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Revision Hub with Jazzy Jane. I'll be now starting with a new topic, which is exam practice. So welcome back to my channel for those of you who have already been here, part of my journey. So I'm going to begin with exam practice, which is methods. It comes in both paper 1 and paper 2. I'll try to cover them. I've done a previous video on how to answer those exam questions. So please watch them and I promise you'll get a really good grade within your sociology. Methods. Let's begin. There are two types of data, primary and secondary. Pause and have a think. What examples can you think of each? Okay, so let's go back. Primary data is data that sociologists collect for their own purposes. Secondary is data that other sociologists collect for the sociologists collect, but it's not really for their purposes. They're using some other person's data. So now, knowing the definitions, can you think of examples? Okay, so for primary data is data that sociologists collect by themselves, could be observations, experiments, while secondary could be newspaper, broadcasts, letters, a few examples that can be used too. And there are various different practical, ethical, theoretical factors. Sorry, the spelling's quite wrong there. Not theoretical, it's theoretical. Let me just quickly change that. Theoretical and as well as methodological factors which need to be considered. And you must take note of all of these factors when you're writing an answer. So which one is which? Okay, so this is a small little grid with every word. So you need to tell me which one is ethical, which one's practical, ethical, theoretical, and methodological. So here's the grid. You can note the words down, highlight it in different colors if this helps to know which one is which, okay? So let's begin. Okay, let's begin with practical factors. So from that grid, time, funding bodies, and social skills were all of the practical factors that are considered when doing research out of all of them. If you didn't get it right, don't worry, we'll keep building on this. And if you go back to this video after all the videos finish of this topic, then I bet you'll be able to actually do this within seconds. Ethical factors would be deception, consent, confidentiality, sensitivity, anonymity out of all of those keywords on the screen. Theoretical factors would be representativeness, where we can generalize the whole population, reliability, because it can be repeated again, correlations, trends can be seen, validity, attitudes, behavior, reasoning, why can also be seen. And here, out of all of the key terms that I've put. Methodological would be positivists and interpretists, out of every one in here. Okay, so in school, remember when we are in a school setting, so I'm going to always try to refer back to the school so that we can have a good grounding for paper 1. So in school, teachers are in control. Teachers are controlled by the government, the national curriculum, head teachers, governing bodies, so they're really controlled. So the teachers have to follow whatever the upper authorities say because they are after all just teachers. Teachers seem to have a lot of power, but in reality they do not have as much power as people think that they have. Okay, so that's how teachers are controlled. Alkinson is a very good sociologist as well as Guthman. So I'm going to look at each of them. So let's begin with Alkinson. Alkinson talks about gatekeeping theory. Gatekeeping, just imagine a gate. You are on a gate, for example, security guard, and you're standing on a gate. So you will allow people who have got a ticket in, whilst those people who don't have a ticket not in, right? So imagine this theory just like that. Alkinson is about gatekeeping theory, how the school chooses which people should they allow in the school and which they should not. And most of the time, according to some sociologists, they found out that schools do not like sociologists doing research within their school for various different reasons, which we'll be looking at in my previous and next few videos. And we look at the theory of Guthman. Guthman looks at putting a show. For example, when you guys are in a school environment and a new teacher who's an observer, new person comes into this environment, and then the teacher before was very rude, labeled you negatively, but instantly when that one person came in that was different and the teacher knew that that person had a huge impact on their reputation, so they will put on a show. So teachers often do this when they see new people people. So when you just think about that, when a researcher comes into the school environment, will the teachers still be putting a show? Or when we see that they're putting a show, is the data that we received valid? So we need to think of it in that terms, and we need to make sure it's like a whole cycle that we finish. Okay, sensitivity, confidentiality, anonymity, consent, DBS check, and SPCC guidelines are all ethical factors which need to be considered, because if these ethical factors are not considered, especially in a school environment, then it can be very problematic to even gain funding for you to do the research. DBS check, for some people might not be knowing about it, it's very simple. So it's basically a check, a criminal record check, which someone pays for you to do it. So mostly the funding bodies, social justice agency, they pay for it, and that checks quick gives a check and gives like a certificate on which it is written that this person is criminally free. It has that person is never convicted a criminal offence. So it just shows you're safe, so that you're allowed in the school. And SPCC has various different guidelines. You can go on Google, have a look at those, add them into. But these are actually the main ones that you need to consider. So anonymity, where you're being anonymous, you're not stated. Confidentiality, where it's all remained confidential, nothing is given out to third parties, and everything is quite sensitive information, because anything that you say about yourself is quite sensitive, like even your PIN number, or even if I talk about something that's very personal to me, will be very sensitive. So it needs to be protected in some way or form. Parents. So Heman argues that working class parents do not have the time or the knowledge. We looked at Heman in our education topic, if you remember. If not, please feel free to go back to my previous videos. And parents' evening. So parents' evening, many parents really get involved in the research. They're fully active. They're fully part of the marketization process. They're fully part of parents' evening. They never miss parents' evening. They're very active and take huge interest within their child's education. We know that, right? So those parents are more willing to take part in research. When they are more willing to take part in research, then you will be able to get a better response rate and you will have more data to analyze. Okay, but however, working class and middle class really differ. As I said, link Heman's theory. Heman argues that working class parents don't have the time or knowledge. So we can see, if we are investigating a topic regarding working class and parents' involvement and how that affects the students' achievement, then working class, okay, they don't really attend parents' evenings, they're not really fully part of the marketization process. So we should think of that in terms of working class and middle class, because working class are less likely to do all of these things that the middle class parents will be doing, and they'll be fully active within their child's education. So all this will come with time. I know this for long, so that's why I can quickly whiz past it, but you need to sit, put your head around it, and actually get doing this. And I'll be going through a few videos, and all of the content I've covered will be made much more easier. So what we've learned, hopefully we've learned about PETM factors: practical, ethical, theoretical, and methodological. We'll be slowly building on this, so don't worry, this is just a short intro. Next video, I'll be looking at questionnaires. Till then, revise, rest, test and repeat yourself on the content in this video and all of the previous videos. And I'm now on Instagram. How fun is that? So you can scan my code there, or simply in the search bar type revisionhub_JazzyJ. I'll be willing to follow people too, and I'll be willing to do live sessions, question answer sessions, especially closer to the exam period. And do not forget to love Canva, because I downloaded these slides off Canva. Like my channel, please like my channel. Subscribe. There'll be a thing popping up on the side somewhere, and please click that and press the bell icon to never miss my video. And also comment if you don't understand anything to know more, then please comment on my channel. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and stay tuned to Revision Hub with Jazzy J.